Right on the set. Hair.
What?
Here.
Something in my hair?
Yeah.
It's really smoky down here right now. But we haven't even lit our cigars yet. And the reason is because we started the fire down here in the basement to keep warm. And it's like impossible to light this fire down here without smoking us out.
We like smoke.
Now let's light our cigars.
You're listening to the Fight for Together podcast.
Okay, tonight's episode is going to be all over the place. I wasn't even sure if I really wanted to record tonight. But then Cammie said she wanted to smoke cigars.
Not that I need a reason to smoke.
Well, you kind of do. And we're not going to just like sit out in the cold or
Well, that's true.
come down here
Well, that's not true.
without recording a podcast.
Maybe.
Okay. You know what? I kind of don't even want to talk about this except for it's like what's on my mind. And that makes me think that I should talk about it as soon as I light my cigar. It's my phone call today.
Phone calls. I hate phone calls. I hate talking on the phone.
Really?
Really. Except for with you.
Are you just saying that?
No, I'm not, actually.
No, you're not saying that, or no, you're not
I'm
joking?
not just saying that. I'm not joking.
Okay.
I don't like phone calls. Phone calls give me anxiety for some reason. I'm better than I used to be about it, but I still don't like them.
So this phone call today I didn't really like. Hang on, let me light my cigar. Oh crap, we're supposed to do an intro.
I'm Cammie,
And I'm Ben.
and we've been together for 20 years. We have 6 children.
And we talk about marriage and stuff that's going on in our life. And we're told that we're honest and real and sometimes a little too TMI. So welcome to the podcast. Just kidding. That was a double intro. Okay, so today I had this phone call. I'm going to make this quick because I don't really want to talk about this. And it was a person from my past. Our families, Cammie and I have gone through a lot of changes in the last couple of years, mostly dealing with things of faith and leaving
Faith and culture.
the religious community. That's true. Very little of it actually has to do with real faith. It has to do with
Faith
the
culture.
culture that was created around a religion. Is that the way you'd phrase it?
Sure.
Okay. So I was talking to this kind of like older friend, and him and I,
A friend you've had in your life for a while.
20 years.
Yeah.
And about 2 years ago, he kind of gave me this talk where he said, I think you should do this thing, fix this thing in your life. And until you really do, or something like that, had that kind of vibe, I can't really hang out with you or talk to you. So I was like, okay. I said, he was basing that off of information he had heard from someone else. So I said, are you interested in hearing from my side? And he said, no. And I said, okay. Well, I'd like you to know there's always 2 sides to a story, and I respect your decision, and let me know if anything changes.
Which, maybe you said respect, but I don't know if you meant accept your decision. Because I think it's a bummer anytime it's one thing if they say, like, I can't handle you, so therefore I don't want to hang out. But to put a condition on someone in order to hang out, I think is a bummer.
So this person left me a message this week, and I was like 50-50 about calling him back, but I decided to do it. And I'm glad I did. And we talked for a little bit and kind of caught up, except for I was like, that last phone call we had, I wasn't super cool with. I didn't really like it. And the person gave some like kind of vague apology. And then they said, well, I just want you to know that I really care about you and I love you, and we're there to help your family anytime you need it. And I said, I appreciate that, except for, like, all I've heard from you in this phone call is, like, you're wanting to help me. But there's nothing you really seem to want from me. And he's like, yeah, that's correct. I go, okay. Well, just so you know, I don't really want to be your project, and I don't think our friendship, if we're going to call it a friendship, is going to go very well if I feel like you're just in this to try and help me or fix me. And this is what I've learned. I could be projecting into this, but my experience, I recognize this position because I was on the other side of it for a long time, where going under the Christian brand name, which is a moral majority, it was the position of power in our country for a long time. I think it might be on its way out, hopefully, but it hasn't been. I said all sorts of things like, oh, I love these people, whether they're homeless or especially people that weren't of our belief system. We were trying to convert them. And I would hang out with them, but I always felt like I had something to offer them, and they had nothing to offer me. So I was like kind of always trying to convert them. So one way to look at it is it was never really a friendship with people outside of my religion. I always viewed them as a project. And it sounds so good to say, and this person said to me, I believe Jesus loves everyone. And because I said, the person said I was like dangerous. And I said, well, why would you hang out with me? Why would you call me your friend if I'm dangerous? And he said, well, Jesus basically wants me to. I was like, well, that's really nice, but.
And shitty.
So I'm like, your trial that you're going through.
Which, I totally get it. Like, I've been there. Like, I've been that person and I've done that thing. And it feels kind of like the only way you can, quote unquote, love someone when you're in this superior moral position.
And this is the punchline is, for me, I would tell people I love them, but really, it's kind of a pompous, proud way to say, to myself especially, I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So, it sounds nice, but actually there's not much nice about it, I don't think. And I think about this, like, cult that we stayed at on the AT. And these guys, like, so there was this, like, sharing time on Saturday morning, and I was like, fuck it, I'll share something. So I shared, like, my little minutes worth of whatever that I felt like related to the topic. And afterwards, this person was like, oh, man, I really appreciated what you shared. By the way, it makes me nervous. Where does this cable go to? Why is it just hanging out? Oh, that's the hard drive. This person said, oh, I really appreciate what you shared. I'd like to hear more about it. So, of course, I'm like, sweet. I like, made an impression. Like, I did, I was, like, trying not to embarrass our family because, whatever,
we didn't fit into the cult
we're
very
dressed
well.
like hikers. And, okay, so I'm talking to her, and she, like, says, like, what I said. She repeated it back and like, asked me something, and I talked for, like, 10 seconds, and then she, like, interrupted me and then proceeded to talk for like 15 minutes about what she believed about something or other. It was like the same script they'd been saying the entire weekend we were there. And that's when I realized, oh, you actually don't care what I say. You didn't want to hear more about me. You were just using that as an intro to talk about the thing that you feel the most qualified in. So cults are filled with terrible listeners. And I think, I don't like to identify us being a part of a cult, but we were involved in, I think, culture on a spectrum. And one thing that I know about my previous life, my belief system, it made it so that it was very hard to listen to people that had different beliefs than me. I was so hell-bent on pounding this one drum, like, really loud.
Or that you had anything to learn about someone else who has a different perspective than you.
No, they were like...
Which is really sad. It's a sad way to live.
I didn't know that at the time, though. And that's where this person on the phone, I was hearing this.
Yeah.
And I could just be like, they felt so bad for me. And I'm like, it was so weird because we've been in the best 2 years of our life. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to feel bad for me. Like, don't try and fix me. But he legitimately, like, I don't know. It, like, maybe wants to be there for me. But I also
cared,
So I don't think it's bullshit, but then it's also bullshit because it comes from a belief system that
is incapable of truly loving or truly caring for someone.
So
I think.
Getting a little more introspective for me, one thing I realized is the best way to love people, I think, is to appreciate them. So, like, I remember when we first started hanging out with some gay folks, there was the same thing. I thought they were, like, living a bad lifestyle, and I was trying to help them and fix them and save them from all this pain, childhood trauma, whatever. And I didn't really appreciate them because all I could see them for was this certain trait that I considered sub-spiritual.
Right.
And, you know, the irony is I'm busting my hump, like busting my ass trying to help and love them and, you know, be Jesus to them or whatever the fuck. But I didn't ever really just like them. I couldn't because I saw them as this one characteristic.
Yeah.
And I don't think that means I'll ever be able to help them. Because I'm really just trying to fix them.
Or they
convert
can't ever
them.
help you either, for the matter.
Yes, they will never be able to help me.
Yeah, even if they could.
Because I'm not open to
Right.
it. And that's what I felt like was going on today. This guy he was saying he was trying to help me, but it came from this higher up position. It generally does. But he couldn't appreciate me. And that just means it's kind of sad because I'm like, well, I just included in my head. And I kind of told him, you know, like, I don't think we can be friends. Like, now that doesn't mean I'm never going to talk to you again or whatever, but that's not what friendship. Now, it's one thing, like, I'm not saying he can never help me, but a good friendship, it's reciprocal. Like, we each add value. And he kept on asking, like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, do I need to, because I said, can I help you? And he's like, no, I don't think so. I was like, okay, well, so he's like, can we not be friends? And I was like, well, if you don't appreciate me at all, if you're like just trying to do this because your Sunday school teacher said to like hang out with me, like I'm your assignment, I'm not really interested in being an assignment. I mean, I got people to hang out with that actually like me, I think. I mean, not a whole lot. Mostly just you.
I like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So, okay, I didn't even really want to talk about that, but that's what's been on my mind. But I'd like to transition to coffee shop.
Ben and I went on a date tonight and ended up at a coffee shop, had some coffee, and just were reading our own perspective books.
We've been having fun on our dates.
Yeah.
The last 2 nights we've gone to Smash Burger, and then I got there like if you buy $50 worth of gift cards, you get like $15 in Smash Burger points or something. Because like everyone's doing that holiday thing, and I love those things because I buy the hell out of those things, which gives you like 30% off.
Yeah.
And then I use the like the actual app. And then on the receipt, it gives you a free
like
side.
appetizer for an entree or something.
So we're just racking up the points. I mean, just racking up the points. And Cammy doesn't even care. But I do.
Not like you do.
And then we go to Starbucks and we split a large peppermint mocha.
And these Starbucks peeps are like super cool and split up our drink and put whipped cream
on each one.
We got like a mug.
And little sprinkles
like an actual
on each
mug.
one.
Really? Oh, I didn't see that.
Actually.
Or no, it was probably syrup. Like,
today it was syrup, but it's supposed to be sprinkles. They always they run out and they don't tell you.
I was pretty satisfied.
Now I'm frustrated because I like the sprinkles. Now that you mention it.
I wanted my sprinkles.
Well, it's only like once a year they give them.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
If I complain about the drink, I can get a free one. But I don't think I should. But maybe I.
Ben's such a hacker. I love it because I'm not a hacker, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being a hacker, but he's always hacking the system.
I don't consider it hacking, by the way. Well, some of it, but
exploiting the system?
No, that's even meaner.
Okay, I'm
sometimes.
sorry.
I mean, I can do that. But this is like expressing my desire.
Oh,
Like I actually am disappointed that they didn't have the little peppermint sprinkles on there.
Maybe that's a separate thing. You're right.
I am also a hacker, but
I appreciate that aspect of you. I think a lot of people just see it as negative. I don't think it is.
It can be.
It can be.
It has been in the past at times. Okay, so we're sitting there, and I'm reading. Oh my gosh, I do not know how you read that book. We did this podcast episode on the book, The Carpenter and the Gardener, and then I was like, I'm going to read it.
If you see it from a scientific angle and learning about sociology, science, I think that might help. Maybe. I mean, there are parts of that book that are definitely dry and boring, but...
All right, but your book, I just want to share with this experience because...
Yeah, I'm reading a book right now called Unconditional Parenting.
Moving from Rewards and Punishment to Love and Reason is the subtitle, and it's by a guy named Alfie Kohn, Kohn. Link in description.
And it's been challenging for me. I think we've moved in this direction a lot over the years, but we still have quite a bit of the way we parent being kind of the punishment reward type system. It's not even stuff you would think about. Like, he even puts praise in that category.
Like, don't do it.
Yes.
Don't praise.
Because it's an award system
that then kids do stuff
just
for praise.
Just to get the award.
There's another subtitle. There's like two subtitles. The second subtitle is a provocative challenge to the conventional wisdom about discipline.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you just tell a story? Because I want to be specific and not general. Like, let's just...
So, Ben and I, or at least I have felt this tension recently. And it's been pretty much our whole parenting time, but more recently I felt that I have this intuitive sense where I don't like punishing. I'm probably actually more towards the reward. So it's really doing the same thing according to this guy. But I like want to more talk through with the kids, almost talk to death probably.
Because, sorry, I just want to...
Yeah, go for it.
I don't think everyone might be on the same page with why punishments and rewards are the same.
Yeah, we probably should clarify that.
But the reason is, are you burning on my beard hairs in your ashtray?
Yeah.
That's weird.
TMI.
Punishments and rewards are both like external behavior modifiers.
Yeah.
And while they can get kids to do things, or anyone really, they don't fundamentally change the primary motivation or the heart. And one of our obsessions as parents, and even from a faith perspective, is how do we
help a child, our children, like cultivate their heart so that they can have this internal change in their heart versus external change,
which is, we think, way more valuable
than just like being a nice kid or being a well-behaved kid.
Great. Okay.
So I just felt like, I was like, as I was reading this, I felt like kind of validated in a way. I also felt kind of like shitty, and I don't think that this is this guy's intention, but just like, oh man, I've done all these things, and I think that's fine. Like,
Tammy feels like that every time she learns something new. She thinks, oh, I have all this like regret doing this,
which I like
before.
Just have to like get over and move on. But because we're always learning and growing. But I felt validated because I just felt like a lot of the things that I was intuitively feeling, even with like Rainier is a really good example, because he'll just whine, and Ben looks at the way I deal with him, and I think he sees him that, I'm letting him walk all over me. And in some cases that is true, and then in other cases I'm actually trying to listen to him and trying to figure out what's the best way to communicate with him, to love him. And sometimes that looks like letting him completely freak out and just kind of sitting in that, because I don't always know what to do, and I don't want to just like jump to reward or punishment or all that. But then this like also made me realize like I've had something in the back of my mind too where I just didn't like all of like, we don't have a ton of rules in our house, I don't feel, but we definitely have some, especially for our morning routine. Like they need to be downstairs at a certain time. They need to do this, need to do that. We have a schedule to keep.
Well, and the bottom line is with 6 kids, we're always enforcing rules.
And
who
then,
put the spoon here?
and our way of doing that
left the food out
with the older kids, especially the 4 older kids, is because we give them like a free allowance every week. It's not contingent to chores they do, but if they don't follow through with one of the rules that we have laid out, then we'll charge them a certain amount of money for it. And I something didn't feel quite right about doing that. Again, not that it's like morally wrong or anything, but I just was like, is that the best way to teach them whatever we're trying to teach them or to relate to them? And so I just kind of brought that up to Ben, and he just listened. And then I had just this idea, and my idea was, are you ready to transition to that?
No. Oh, the cat's down here. Meow.
Our house is becoming a fucking zoo because I just went to the pet store with 7 today, and he purchased 2 parakeets. So now we have 2 parakeets, a cat, and a dog. And Dove still has a bunny at a friend's house that we're eventually going to be getting back. But
I've never had that cat on the podcast before. All right, you go on your way.
Bye-bye, Leo.
No, I think you need to share the example of 7. You were like calling me out. You're like, you said something about me being sarcastic, and then you said something about.
Yeah, well,
I don't remember.
I hesitate to even say this because I think this can be such a loaded term, but
say it.
He
Our audience can handle it.
said that he listed a few different things, and I forget all of what they were, but one of them was sarcasm, and that sarcasm actually can be a form of emotional abuse with kids. And I think I've noticed with Ben that he deals with 7 more often than any of our other kids, talking to him sarcastically about things instead of more straightforward. And maybe it's better than, yelling at the kid. You can maybe argue that, but it just made me think like, because I've actually been bothered by that for a while. Yeah, so I just told Ben that. I was like, oh, that's interesting that he called it that, because I actually have felt bothered by that, your form of communicating with 7. And not that you don't always communicate that way, but that's a very usual way. It happens quite often.
So Cammie says this, and I like instantly feel like defensive. Like just I don't know, things like started to tighten a little bit,
Your sphincters. Sorry. I just had to say it.
No. Not my sphincter. My neck.
Okay. Your muscles.
Yeah.
Your muscles started.
I know you have sex ed on the brain.
I know, I sure do.
Oh my gosh, can we pause and talk about that for
We
a second?
can't not talk about
Okay, today's
sex
sex
on the
ed
podcast.
topic is intercourse. Okay? And pregnancy, which is a byproduct of intercourse. So I'm showing up to sex ed week 3, and I'm like, this is going to be great. Cammie's teaching this. I'm like, heck yeah. This will be so much fun. And this is what Cammie says. She goes, okay, so intercourse happens when a penis goes in a vagina, and then you make a baby, or pregnancy happens. Oh, and here's a cross-section of a female while pregnant. There's the placenta, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at a female sawed in half on our chalkboard and looking at all these, like, boring internal things. And I'm like, wait.
Ben's like, wait a second. There's so much more to be said about this.
I'm like, this is supposed to be the most interesting topic in the entire world.
Too bad.
And I'm like falling asleep here because you like your way of explaining intercourse took about 5 seconds.
I was just very matter of fact, a little too matter of fact. Maybe.
Not just matter of fact. I'm fine with matter of fact. It was like 5 seconds long, and I was like, "Wait a second, this should be way more interesting." So I made it. I think I asked some good questions.
You did.
That made it way more interesting and got
Yeah.
it some airtime.
Yeah, I think we spent almost an hour talking about the stuff, and if it was my thing, it would have spent like 10 minutes.
No, it would have been 5 seconds.
5 seconds on the sex part, and then like 8.5 minutes on like pregnancy and.
You're like talking, oh, the normal pregnancy is 38 to 40 weeks. Actually, people think it's 9 months, but it's really 10 months. And I'm like,
because that's what I'm passionate about, and not that I'm not passionate about sex, but.
okay, you have sex
That's
way more
why-
than you're pregnant.
That's why, yeah. So I have some mental blocks for sure, but that's why we're both teaching it, because we
It's
both
true.
have things to offer and things to bring.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're there to ask the questions, because I would have just talked for literally 5 seconds, probably.
Okay, so that was our sex ed class. But, so no, I was getting a little tight at Starbucks, but actually just a little. It was just like instinct.
Yeah.
Because I felt like you were calling me out. You were.
Yeah.
I think you did it in a really great way. I mean, you weren't attacking me. I believe that you want what's best for me and our family and our kids. But it's just hard hearing that basically, I mean, I don't know what it is. Like, to be honest, I think part of it is I don't like hearing from a woman how to do my job. I don't know if it's because I think women are less than, or whether maybe you don't know what it's like to be a guy, or
Sure.
something like that. And I don't like being told I'm doing something wrong, or that there's a better way that I didn't think of. And I'm really trying to be honest here, because this was like really internal and very quick. So I'm even just like processing this out loud. And I didn't tell you this at the coffee shop because I knew we were recording this and I didn't want to repeat myself, because then I feel like I'd be fake. But that did go through my mind. But besides that, I'm actually way, way, way excited about this idea. But it's scary to me, because a lot of our discipline, I mean, Cammie said we have a lot of rules and stuff. The reason is it just works. It is so much easier to just create rules and not think about it, I think.
I think it works. And I think it works only to an extent. It works for some things.
It minimizes
for some goals.
Chaos.
Right. For that goal.
Yes.
And
it creates a sense of order.
Which I like appreciate, but then I'm also like, when are we going to move past that? Like,
well, and I'm really good at this type of thing. Like, I can create order and achieve goals and manage groups of people, and it's really my strong suit, and I really lean into that. And I think what Cammie's pointing out is that our household reflects that personality type a lot more than I think yours actually, or what this book is saying, which I don't even know what this book is saying, but I just know I bought the books. I haven't read them yet.
Son of a bitch. You bought it.
Well, no, I bought them because I believe in it.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
It would have been nicer for me to read it and come to some conclusion. It would have felt better than you calling me out. It would have felt better to my ego.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought it out. In fact, I think for our relationship, this achieves far more other goals of like, I want you to speak up, and I want to listen to you, and I want your voice to be louder in our marriage and in our family. Yeah. Because I think the times that you've been silent, our family has suffered. And I could but I had this, you know how I knew that I didn't want to hear it? Was I wanted to like make a joke. Like, because you said these things, and I wanted to like, I don't know, say like, oh, so you're God's gift to my life now. Or just something that kind of like discounted what you were saying.
Yeah.
Not like overtly by saying, I'm not listening to you, but kind of like
this is too hard for me to listen to.
Kind of like making light of it.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't know. I think it's really important.
Yeah, and I think it was a cool moment for me because to speak out like that is big for me to do. And I think I think it's been hard for me to fight or to say this is how I want to parent, because the way I want to parent, first of all, isn't perfect by any means, but it creates more of these like long-term relational goals that I want instead of short-term chaos, reducing chaos and like everything working well. And so what's hard is because if I'm going to say like, let's change the rules, do away with the rules, bring the kids in on it, like it's going to it might create more chaos. But I also
guarantee
it'll create more chaos. It'll create more frustration in the short run. But I believe there's something that he's hinting on, like in the long run, it actually starts to create more healthy, like relations between everyone, and like kids feel, I think, more heard, and the kids feel less frustrated or feel more empowered. And I actually think that is even important for a 2-year-old, but it's definitely important for like our 17-year-old. So I don't know, but it's very like it's going against this grain, basically.
I mean, and this is why I bought the book, because I knew that it was going to do that. At least it was going to make us think about it. And by the way, this is not a book report or a book recommendation. If the book's good, we very well could end up doing a whole nother podcast on it. So we're not there yet. But, you know, this is where my brain goes instantly, because I've had enough of this experience. Well, if we don't have rules, then what? And I think what people think is, well, it's just going to be absolute fucking chaos and everyone's going to hate their kids. But I'm not willing to do that. So then the next step, the option C, or really the only other viable option, is if someone does something, let's say they leave their dishes out, okay? The far easier thing to do is to say, hey, you broke the rule. Pay the consequence. And you just leave it at that. Now, if you don't have the rule to lean on, you still need to communicate with the person. But now you need to communicate in a way that involves, like, your personhood.
Your feelings.
Yeah, you need to basically say, like, hey, I don't like it when you leave the dishes out. And this is why.
Yeah.
And this is how it makes me feel. It makes me feel disrespected. It makes me feel chaotic. It's a lot more vulnerable. It's so much easier just to like point to some rule as if the rule is magic. And the problem with that other way, I think, is it doesn't really build the relationship much, which is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it kind of creates this, well, I'm the rule maker and you're the rule follower hierarchy. And
it doesn't like cultivate inward motivation. Like he uses this example with especially with little kids when they share, let's say they share their brownie with their friend, and you're like, oh, good sharing. And then the kids are actually less likely to share the next time because they're waiting for the praise.
They do it for the praise.
They do it for the praise.
You almost ruin the actual event.
Yeah, there's not this inward motivation of like, I want to share my brownie because I like you, or because I see that you're sad because you don't have a brownie. You know, those types of motivations. And so with like even cleaning the kitchen, like, you know, maybe we're short-circuiting something there where, you know, for our kid to say, oh, wow, me leaving my dishes out actually makes my mom feel like sad or frustrated, or this is inconveniencing me, and that's a better lesson for them to learn than just like, well, $5 for you, you know.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't have a problem with parental hierarchies, like, in a way. Like, obviously with 4-year-olds, when I yell at my 4-year-old to stop and not run in the street, I think they should listen to me, and I think I should, like, enforce it, because that's like life or death.
yeah.
But,
And I think he would agree, but I think he, you know, this author is just trying to say, like, if all of our parenting methods point to just control and manipulation and authority, it's just very one way to see that relationship.
but the older my kids get, I mean, when they're 3 and I'm 35, or in this case, we have a 2-year-old and I'm 39. So I'm, 37 years older than this person. 37 years seems like a lot. But then when they're 40, and I'm, 77, I guess in a way it still seems like a lot. But when you look at thousands of years, 37 years is a speck on a timeline.
Yeah.
And all of us humans, like, we have a lot
Kind of all
more.
want the same thing.
We have a lot more in common than we'd like to think.
Yeah.
So,
Like, and even a 2-year-old can feel when they're being disrespected or when their wishes or preferences aren't considered at all.
so I would like to work more towards fostering a sense of equality and value and hierarchy than to focus so much on, listen, I'm the boss, like, shut up, you little shit, and listen to me.
Right.
Which is how a lot of parenting feels. That's so much the easier way. It's like, do what I said. Why? Because I told you to. Mm-hmm. That's the age-old thing.
Right.
All right. Well, so I just wanted to share that because, I mean, it could represent a big change for our family coming up here, and I wanted you guys to hear the way it came about. It was, like, not my idea. It was Cammie's idea, and I don't like hearing Cammie's ideas sometimes, but I believe they're really good. And even if it was a bad idea, let's say whatever that means, I still want to encourage Cammie to be vocal about her ideas, because it's going to make our marriage and family run better. And I know how to shut those down. And my guess is, out there in podcast audience land, there's people who their marriage or partnerships or relationships are stuck because one person has ideas but isn't speaking up. Mm-hmm. And if I have the authority to speak a few pieces of advice out there, there's 2 things that I would ask you to consider. One is, for the person who tends to be more loud or domineering, the Ben in the relationship, is to try and listen and encourage the quieter one to speak up. And the way I think I most can do that is not by being like, all right, talk now, hurry up, it's your turn. But it's actually
2 seconds.
It's actually by responding positively when you do, even if I don't like it or agree. By saying, hey, I'm glad you had the courage to speak up. Right now, it's hard for me to hear it, but I'm really glad you said that.
Right.
Or something like that. But the second is, to the Cammies out there, the quiet ones, please don't give up. My guess is that at times you guys have said something, been rejected or shut down, and then I think what happens is people are like, well, that didn't work, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And
or you think your ideas or thoughts aren't as good or aren't worth mentioning.
Yeah. And that's just not true. And I don't know. A lot of when I talk to couples, some people come to us for advice still. I don't know why, but they do. And they like to hear our opinion. And honestly, the biggest opinion that I've given recently is listen to your spouse, not listen to my idea. But quite often in a relationship, that whole Paula Abdul opposites attract.
How does that go?
I can't sing it. It's like an 80s song.
Oh, I probably do.
Our audience knows. They're from this era. You'd recognize it. You totally
Oh,
recognize
I'm sure
it.
I would.
But the thing that attracted to your spouse is probably that they're different from you, which means that they have different strengths and different weaknesses. And
they probably know you more than other people do.
yeah, they care
Anyways.
about you, and they actually care about your kids more than anyone else on the planet. And we can go to counselors, but really, quite often the role of a counselor, I think, is just to facilitate clearing blockages between the two decision makers. A counselor shouldn't really tell you what to do. They should help you, give you the tools to help you figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But all that to say, I think a lot of times when relationships are stuck or family situations suck, then the tools to fix it are actually within the family itself already. Like, people feel things, they have intuition, they know, and that's what you said to me. You said I've had this intuition for a while, but either you'd given up on it, or you didn't trust it, or we didn't have a type of relationship where I was drawing it out of you, or
I needed this guy to like spell it out in different words, and then I was like, oh hey, what I was feeling feels validated to me enough to say it in this way.
So I would just say sometimes it takes a while, and saying something once and someone turning you down does not mean you get to hold that opinion inside of you for the rest of your life.
Because I think I've mentioned in one way or another the sarcastic thing like probably 3 times to you before. And then so this would have been the 4th time. So I didn't give up. And a lot of times I have given up. So, but that's a cool story to say like, oh, I, didn't give up on this.
All right, change topics. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, you know what we're going to do now?
Oh,
We're gonna
dating game?
Yeah, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So we have 18 minutes left, and I really want to do this. I think it'd be fun.
Oh my gosh.
I got Tinder. I put it on your phone. And I got Tinder this week because there's one night I couldn't sleep.
You put me on there?
No, not yet. You're going to put yourself on there.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I've never dated.
This is going to be so cool.
Wait, my school is? Okay, I'm
Yeah, enter your school.
That.
Okay.
Oh,
Are you skipping that? How are you going to meet people?
Wait, can I go back? Okay. What do I put?
Okay, fine, skip it. But just because we don't have much time.
Okay, skip. My best pick? Oh, good.
Yeah, get
Lord.
a good pick. I want to...
Wait, camera roll. Okay.
I want to try and see if we can find each other on Tinder. I spent 5 minutes on this. Now it's probably... I'm lying. It was probably 15. Heck, maybe
I
it was
gotta
20.
enable settings on my phone for...
For what?
For photos. How do I do that?
Wasn't there just one button you can push?
Mm-mm. Like, look. Grant access.
Okay, go to settings. Photos. Read and write.
Okay.
Siri search, cellular data. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
So
now,
go back to it.
Okay. Okay. Let's create your new account. Get started. Okay.
So many people have talked about this. Because Cammie and I never dated. I was like, everyone's like saying like swipe right. It's on like every TV show.
Is that our normal password?
Yeah, it's already entered.
Okay.
Just push continue.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my profile.
Okay.
I felt bad about doing this because I knew I wasn't actually gonna meet anyone. So I just put a picture of our table. But now I'm gonna put a picture of my.
I am a woman.
Face.
Okay.
Oh, I'm putting a picture of me in the Speedo.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that. Dude, I hope this doesn't actually work. Move to the front of my profile. Add a profile. Okay, there's my picture.
Gosh.
It's
Now
me in a Speedo.
I have to pick a picture.
Do one where you're cute.
No, I'm going to do a fugly one.
What's that mean?
I'm just kidding.
Just uploading my picture. It's taking a while.
I shouldn't put one with you in it. Because then they'll think, wait a second.
Well, no, that's fine. You gotta just keep it moving here.
All right, I'm going to do this sexy one here.
Of you on the AT?
No?
Whatever. Just.
What about this one?
Great. Well, that one you're actually hot. Not as hot as me in a Speedo.
Ben's like, wait a second.
Okay. Success. Your photo has successfully uploaded. Okay, done. Now I'm going to edit my info.
What does this mean? It's pulsing.
It's probably finding mates.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna say about me. Looking for a girl with small boobs.
Really?
Yeah, I like small boobs.
All right.
How
would they know that unless you put like your boob size? Is that somewhere in there?
Well, no, they read my bio and then they swipe if they like me. Who can homeschool 6 kids, likes lots of sex
and cigars,
long walks.
Long walks.
Oh yeah, and smokes cigars. Okay, I think this is gonna land me some fish. Job title, no.
Why is mine still doing this?
I don't know. It's probably looking for mates.
It's like, oh, sorry,
okay.
Nothing there.
There I am. Well, let me see if I can fix yours here. So, why are you so nervous about this?
I don't know. You said it's like a dating thing. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, but you don't have to date anyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, why is your thing taking so long? It's like this red pulsing thing. Let's restart the app and see if that works. Okay, allow location. Allow.
Oh, I didn't.
Keep me posted. No notifications.
No.
Okay,
please, no.
So you gotta like talk about what you see on there.
All right. What? I already have top picks. Can I just say maybe later?
What does it say? You gotta read.
Okay, so it's got 3 guys on here, and they all look like they're in their late 20s, early 30s, maybe.
Yeah, see, that's a way to get you to pay more money.
Okay,
Click maybe later.
Maybe never. Okay.
See, now mine's trying to sell me Tinder.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
So this guy named Martin, he's 38. He's a hockey inline
Swipe
player.
around the world.
So wait, if I swipe left to say nope?
If you swipe left, it means you don't like him. If you swipe right, you.
Oh.
So I want to see if we can find each other. There's
He's
a
like Hispanic.
dentist, 42 years old, Christy.
Billy, 37, Ford Motor Company.
Cynthia's 33. She looks like she wants to have sex
Nick,
right
36.
now. Left.
No.
Jennifer's 45.
Jason,
Massage therapist.
36. A picture with Santa. Nope. DF 46.
Oh, look at this. Jennifer,
nope.
45. It says.
Bart 36. Drinking beer with, what is that kind of hat?
That's like an Eskimo hat.
Okay.
This guy says,
nope.
I love to spend. You
found
me.
You.
Okay, swipe right.
Oh, swipe right.
No, I think if you swipe up,
I
just
did you right. Dang it.
What do you mean right? You're supposed to do me right.
I did, but it didn't go up.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Okay, now I gotta find you. Hang on.
David, 35.
Okay. Jennifer looks.
No,
I love to spend my time with family and friends as much as
41.
possible. Listen, I love outdoors, especially hiking and camping.
I kind of like this guy.
Swipe right.
Okay, that's weird.
Oh, did not vote for Donald Trump. I'm not looking for short-term flings or hookups. Commitment phobes need not apply.
I just swiped right and I didn't mean to. Whoops. Eric, 37. Nope.
I'm trying to swipe right on this person.
Nope.
Lauren, 38.
Nope.
Geraldine.
Nope. Nope. Oh, that guy looks nice, but nope.
You got it.
Bill, 39. Nope. Oh, he had some hair. Robert, 36. No. Daniel, 35. No. Kevin, 35.
Ashley.
No.
This is like, what's crazy about this?
Ben, 36. No. Clayton, 37. No.
You got to describe like what
Johnny,
you're seeing a little bit.
37. I don't know what I'm seeing.
Well, look, if you tap right, it shows different pictures of them. Oh, see that? See, look, it shows you how to do it. Or if you push the I, it tells you information about them.
Okay.
But
Johnny, 2 miles away. I'm laid back, hard worker. I can party with the best. I almost get along with anyone. I can. Okay, no, I don't. It's not my type.
Beth, 39.
Freddie, 45. No, Michael, 40. He does not look 40.
Oh, this person's a phlebotomist. Gross.
Tolerant to any and all thoughts. Looking to connect. No. Eric, 41 miles away. Laid back, artistic type, old soul.
There you are.
Oh.
I found you.
Okay.
Cammy,
What
38.
you gonna do with me?
1 mile away. I'm thinking about swiping left.
Left?
No, look. See, here, check this out.
Wait, left? That would be a nope.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's not very
Look,
nice.
if I swipe up, watch, look. It says, get notified when Cammy swipes you right. Do I want to be notified?
But I already did.
Yeah, why doesn't it tell me? Swipes you right.
Mike.
I'm going to write, I want to be notified.
36. I ride bikes.
Oh, see, look, they're just...
tap to chat with Ben.
Hang on. Okay,
I have a
let's
new
chat.
match.
Okay, look, it's trying to
Wait,
send
where'd
me
you go?
It's a match. Look,
Oh.
you super liked Cammy. I'm going to do a screenshot.
Where did you go? You went somewhere.
So now it's giving me the match. It shows us, look, a little heart. Look.
Oh.
Can you guys
That's
see
nice.
this? I'm going to show the camera. There's a little
That's
heart
scary.
there with Cammy and I. Okay, keep swiping or send message. I'm going to send you a message. Let's see how this works. I can send Bitmoji. I don't know what that is. See when Cammy answers. Oh,
Ooh,
this whole
that guy
thing.
has a beard.
Hey, why are you still looking at other people?
Oh, sorry.
That is a nice beard, though.
Get Tinder Gold. No, thanks.
Okay, what
So what do I do now?
are you doing tonight? Question mark. Send.
All right. So then, okay. Oh. What are you doing tonight? Okay, I'm going to like that. A heart.
Ooh, I
And
just showed up
then
as a heart.
I'm going to say
I'll look for a GIF for you.
not much.
Oh, the
Looking for... Oh, that's funny. Looking for love. I was just going to say looking for
well,
love.
it's the first GIF, and it shows this guy with a giant telescope. It says looking for love. I think that usually means looking for sex, which
Okay.
not much.
I was going to say that anyways. I'm looking for love.
Okay.
So-
Want
Wait.
to get together? I wonder how people actually, what they actually say.
I don't know.
No, these are like strangers they're typing to.
Yeah. Here you go. I sent you a picture of a seductive looking chick.
Dang, that girl's licking her lips.
Mm-hmm.
You mean that?
Yeah. Of course I do.
Okay. So how do we escalate this?
I don't know. What's that flag up to the right?
Want to meet up. Send.
Yep. Send.
Come on. You can't just... Oh, maybe I'm supposed to... Am I the guy? I'm supposed to initiate
No, this is the 21st century.
this? Well, then why don't you say more than yep?
Okay, where...
You're supposed to say something like...
Where...
I
There.
like your Speedo, or like what's underneath it, or
Okay.
love to... I'd love a back rub. You know, you're supposed to say something that's like... indicates what you want out of the relationship, you know? Otherwise, I'm reading this, and I'm just like, oh, this girl's like not interested. Whoa, you hot. Okay, I think it's good for you that I'm married to you. 'Cause I don't think you'd really be able to figure this out. And there's a gif of fire.
I would if I needed to. Trust me. I would figure it
Okay,
out.
first of all, you talk very big, and I don't trust you. But in this case, I'm glad. This is not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. I guess we found each other, though. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, screwing around on, okay, Bitmoji. What's crazy about this app is it's like this full-on experience with real people. But they have this thing like really like what happens? Okay, so it shows like top picks, featured profile of the day. If I click to the top, and
did you see what I sent you?
no, I didn't.
You should.
Oh, sent you a Giphy. Okay, I don't have time for that right now.
Oh, yes, you do. Trust me.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out. Oh wait, hang on. I'll get to there, but I want to talk about this just because I just saw how crazy this is. So it says get Tinder Gold, and it's trying to get me to get it like for a month. It's $30. Get full access to top picks, unlimited swipes, see who likes you, match with them instantly, unlimited likes, one free boost a month. Okay, so boost, it says skip the line to get more matches. Control your age and distance, choose who sees you. So 5 free super likes a day, which then it says you're 3 times more likely to get a match. So basically, this is like, I think the way it works is if you pay $30, you can basically like meet up with someone in like 30 minutes guaranteed. That's the vibe I get off this.
Wow.
But it's just like a game. Oh, see, look, it's showing me. Look at this. It's showing me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 girls that it thinks I'll like. But then these are all grayed out. Because if I pay the money, then I can see them.
I feel like this, though, is catered to a certain personality or certain personalities. Because I don't think I'd want to do this. Like, it's very extroverted, like...
What do you mean? It's the most introverted thing you can do. You sit at home and push buttons.
Yeah, but then and if you actually want to ever meet someone, that's kind of like...
Well, it's only for people that want to meet people. I mean, but...
That's what I'm saying.
Well, if you never want to meet anyone, but let's say you're lonely, what do you want to do? Like go out to a bar and talk to someone?
No.
I sure as hell
I'm just
no, you don't want to go to a church.
I'm just a little more traditional, I guess. No, I wouldn't want to go to church, but I just, if someone knew someone... It was like one of my friends was like, "Hey, I know this guy."
Well, of course, that's like how it used to work. But this is what the kids are into nowadays. Okay, you sent me a Giphy. Oh, I got another message from someone else.
What?
Do I read yours or hers first? Okay, this one has.
It was your Speedo.
Look, this one has the touchdown. It says acne can be optional. What does that mean? Is this an ad?
Oh. That's
Acne can be optional. Acne sucks at
I'm still swiping.
any age. What? They're trying to sell me something for $20. That was my... Oh, it's sponsored by Hims. Oh, that was my only other message. Okay, you're my only legit... Oh!
Yeah.
Hello?
I told you should...
Oh my gosh, you sent me a lot. There's one of a naked person with hands, and then there's one with a finger going in a hole. Dang, girl. Oh, wait. I have 3 matches. 3+ people already liked
how did you
with
find...
you.
Wait, do I not have any matches but
No,
you?
you just got an account. I got an account like 4 days ago, and then I just haven't looked at it. But
okay,
I don't
that
know
makes
how you
me
find
feel
your
better.
matches. But it's saying 3 people are like you match with them instantly. No thanks. But can I see them? It's not letting me see them unless I pay money. That's not happening. Huh. Can't see them. Oh well. I got this. Cammy. It's a match. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it says you're 2 miles away.
See ya.
I want to send you a message that says I'll see you in bed tonight, but we have to wrap up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that was our fun Tinder experiment. I think I'm ready to delete this off my phone now. But that's a crazy world.
That is.
Okay. What helps us is if you think of someone that would benefit from this type of conversation, you could share it with them. And besides that, we did not get any new phone things, so crickets to you guys.
And
oh, dang, that's swiping left on our whole audience,
Yeah.
Cammy? Ouch.
no, I wanted to do this, but I can't. Okay.
So, I have a feeling that some people, because there was a few vocal people, and then this is what I think is happening. I think they're like, oh, I ask a question all the time, so I'm going to give them a break.
Oh.
Don't do it. Just
Fuck
capitalize
that.
on it.
If you're
wondering, I would so much rather hear from the same person that's asking questions than no one.
Yeah.
So
be the rock star.
Bring it on. And that's all we're going to talk about now. So I hope this was helpful for you. Hopefully, maybe the first part instead of the Tinder thing. We're not very good.
But maybe that was helpful.
We're not very good at giving Tinder lessons. But honestly, like, I can see the appeal, actually. But, you know, it feels like a giant way for this company to make money off of people's...
Oh, I'm sure.
Off of people's desire to meet other folks.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff pisses me off. Like, but, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. All right. We'll see you guys next week on the Fight for Together show. Here's Flea saying goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Fight for Together. We'll see you next time.
Soup competition. Ask and answer geography questions. Start fight clubs. Watch movies you've been meaning to watch. Eat animals. Become the best version of yourself. Wow.